Good evening, good evening, good evening. God bless you this evening. Hope you've had a wonderfully blessed day, but this is the day that the Lord have made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to Empowering Lives with Apostle Emma Lofton, coming before you again with an empowering word to build your faith and to propel you to the next level uh, of Christ-centered living. So I have a very encouraging word for you this evening. And we're going to be talking about God will turn your pain into purpose. God will turn your pain into purpose. Everything that you go through, God will use it all. God will use it all. Nothing will be wasted. Everything that you go through, God has a purpose for it. And He takes it and He uses it for your good, to make you better, stronger, and wiser, and to help you to mature and to grow spiritually and to become more like Christ, to grow more into the image of Christ. That is our goal, is to become like Christ, and we're forever becoming. We have not fully become like Him yet, but we are becoming. That's why we are growing, forever growing and learning and maturing in Christ, because we are becoming like Him. Paul said it does not appear yet what we shall be, but we do know that we shall be like Him when He comes. And that is the goal. That is the goal, God's intentions for us to become like Christ. And that is our goal, is to become more like Christ. So my subject this evening is God will turn your pain into purpose. I've seen Him do it. And not only have I seen Him do it, I have experienced Him do it. Every pain that I've ever had, every tear that I've ever had, every heartache that I've ever had, every disappointment that I've ever had, every frustration that I've ever had, God always takes it and turn it into a greater good. God is true to His word. He's faithful to His word. And that is my encouragement to you this evening. Every heartache, every pain, every suffering, every tear, every disappointment, God takes it all and He uses it for His will and glory, and for your good and for His glory. So, as I said, I have seen Him do it. And not only have I seen Him do it, but I have experienced Him doing it in my life and in the lives of so many others, those that are gone before us. We have seen God take everything that they've gone through. And it's not only for you, but it's to bless somebody else, to encourage somebody else, to lift somebody else up, to strengthen somebody else, to build somebody else's faith. Yes. So no matter what you've been through or what you are going through, just know that your story is not over. There is still beauty to come out of your life and out of your situation. God will get the glory. I say it again, God will get the glory. And He'll work it for your good. That's it. My husband used to say, it don't get no better than that. He works it for our good and for his glory. It don't get no better than that. He's a just God. He's a good God. He's a loving God. He's a kind God. He can't just work it for his glory. But he don't just only work it for his glory, he works it for our good, that we benefit from it, and that it brings greater good into our lives, greater blessings in our lives. Strengthen us as we go through the tests and the trials. It strengthens not only us, but it strengthens our faith. It strengthens our relationship with God. So my scripture tonight is Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of those that love the Lord and those that are called according to his purpose. God will turn your pain into purpose. Sometimes we're going through some things, and I've heard people say, man, I don't see no good coming out of this. What good could come out of this? But I don't care how bad it is, God always brings something good out of it. I don't care how bad it looks. He always brings something good out of it. He brings beauty out of ashes. He turns your mourning into joy. There is still beauty and more beauty to come out of your situation. Just look to the hills from which cometh your help. Your help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. And in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord and those that are called according to his purpose. Not our purpose, but his purpose. Beloved, we are called to his purpose, not ours. God, when he created us, he had a purpose for each of our lives. And the life that we live is supposed to be centered around the purpose that he has for us, because each of us are wired with gifts and talents that helps us to live out the purpose and the plan that God has for our life. That's why what God has for me to do, you cannot do it. What he has for you to do, I cannot do it. Nobody can do what God has designed you to do, because when he created you, he wired you a certain way. He put certain gifts and talents in you that only you can perform, that only you can live out, that only you can walk out those purpose and plans that he have for your life. So this verse, Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord and those that are called according to his purpose. This verse speaks of the sovereignty of God. God is sovereign. He's the only true and living God. And besides him, there is none other. I don't care what the devil say. God is the only true and living God. Now, there's a lot of gods. Some. I heard somebody say the other day there's 5 different gods. Well, they sure must be talking about the false God. But there's only one true and living God. They say there's 5 gods. Well, it must be 5 false gods, because there is not but one true. There's not but one true and only living God. So God is sovereign. He assuring believers that even though difficult situations and circumstances, God is orchestrating every event. This is what this verse is saying. He's assuring believers, those that love the Lord and those that have been called according to his purpose, and those who have committed themselves to the call, those that are sold out to the call, This verse is assuring believers that even though they are faced with difficult circumstances and difficult situations, God is orchestrating every event. There is nothing that you go through that God does not orchestrate. There is nothing you can go through. If he didn't orchestrate it, he allowed it. So his hand is still in it, and he's not going to put no more on us than we can bear. So God is orchestrating every event to bring about a greater good in our lives. God is orchestrating every event to bring about a greater good in our lives and a greater outcome for those that are part of his plan. This verse encourages faith in God and his divine plan and the bigger picture that we cannot see with our natural eye. It encourages faith in God and the bigger picture, understanding that temporary struggles are part of the process. It's only temporary. It's only temporary. Peter says it like this. He said, after you have suffered a while, after you have suffered a while, then God, that is saying it's temporary, then God will step in and he will strengthen us and settle us and establish us after we have suffered a while. God will not put no more on us than we can bear. And after we have suffered a while, sometimes it seems like we've gone as far as we can go and taken as much as we can take. And when God knows how much that you can handle, he will step in and strengthen you and settle you and establish you. It's part of the process. It's part of the process to mature us and to bring us to the image of Christ. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. The key component in this verse is number one, all things. Underline all things. So you can put emphasis on all things. The key component in this verse, number one, is all things. Underline all things. And all things refers to the totality of life, both good and bad, including sadness and joy and everyday experiences. That includes the all things. The verse said all things. We're talking about the elements, 4 elements in this verse, and the first one is all things. The second element in this verse is God who works for our good. That's the second element. The first element is all things. And we talked about what those all things are: the good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad, the everyday experiences. Now, the second element in this verse is God who works for the good. It's saying God, in his wisdom and power, is actively involved in all of his creation and uses every event to bring about a positive outcome, a positive result. God is actively involved in our lives. And in his wisdom and power, he is actively involved in all of his creations. And he uses all events, every event, to bring about a positive results. He works it out for our good. It don't seem like it when we're going through it, but when we have patience to wait on God and trust him and stand on his promises, he always bring the good out of every situation. Those who love him. Number three, the third element is those who love him are the believers who have a personal relationship with God and are committed to the call on their life. Those who love him, that is the third element in this verse. Those who love him are those that are called according to his purpose, for his purpose, that have a personal relationship with him and who is committed to the call on their lives. The third element is called according to his purpose. That refers to God's divine plan and intention for his people. The third element is called according to his purpose, refers to God's divine plan and intention for his people are invited to be a part of God's divine plan. That is those that are called according to his purpose. We have been invited to be a part of that divine plan. Aren't you glad that you are part of his divine plan? And anybody on here tonight that is not a part of that divine plan, you can be a part of his divine plan for your life. That is what gives your life meaning. When we are part of his divine plan for our life, when we're walking in his purpose and his plan and his will for our lives, that is what gives us fulfillment. I hear people talk about how to find meaning and how to find purpose. Well, that is how you find meaning and purpose. There is no other way to find meaning and purpose, is to become a part of that divine plan that he have for your life. And when you become a part of that divine plan that he have for your life, everything else that you need will find you. When you become a part of his divine plan and his sovereign will for your life, I declare everything else that you need will find you. God has a way of getting everything to you that you need. God has a way of sometimes it can be down to the wire. It can seem like your whole world is falling apart. It can seem like the bottom is falling out. But God will take that thing and take that pain and turn it into purpose. And that is to use it for his will and his glory, his purpose and his plan for your life. God will turn that thing. God will turn it around. As Marvin Winans said, late in the midnight hour, God's going to turn it around. And he don't only just turn it around, but he use it for your good and for his will and his glory. It don't get no better than that. God will turn that thing around. Our responsibility is to accept our part in his divine sovereign will and plan for our lives. And when we do, oh my God, the things that we will see God work in our lives. the thing that he will work in our behalf, the way that he will use us in his divine plan, not only for us, but to help somebody else, to bless somebody else, to encourage somebody else, to lift somebody else up, to strengthen somebody else, to help build someone else's faith through our testimonies of what God is doing in our lives. So the four elements in this verse all is number one is all things work together for the good. Number two is works together for the good. And number three, those who love the Lord. And number four, those that are called according to his purpose. Now that is the main point in this scripture, that we are called for his purpose. Sometimes we think it's all about what we want to do and where we want to go and what our goals and dreams and visions are. But actually, the truth of the matter, we're supposed to pray and ask God, what is your will for my life? What is your plan for my life? And where do I fit in your plan? Lead me and guide me and show me the direction that I am supposed to go. We're supposed to be praying and ask God, what is his will for our life? What is his plan? If you want to be happy, and so many people are seeking happiness, pray and ask God, what is his will for your life? And he will show you. And when you find it, oh, what joy you'll find. When you discover God's will and his plan and his purpose for your life, oh, what peace you will have. Oh, what hope you will have. Oh, what love you will have. Oh, what joy you will have. Oh, what peace. Even in a chaotic world, when you find and discover God's will, his plan and his purpose for your life, and then everything else that you're faced with, every challenge in your life, every experience, good and bad, God will take it and use it for your good to bless you. Everything that you've gone through, God is going to take it and use it to bless you. When God allows us to go through tests and trials, he's not punishing us. That said, what's that song, Identify the Music? I said, Marvin Winans. Late in the midnight hour, God's going to turn it around and work it in our favor. So tonight I've talked about God will turn your pain into purpose. And that purpose is to use it for his glory and for your greater good. Watch God do greater things in your life. If you can just look and see that God and trust and believe that whatever you're going through, whatever you've been through and whatever you're going through now, whatever you're faced with, God has a bright future for you. And he's going to take it and use it for your will and your glory to propel your life to live the abundant life, a life of freedom, a life of love, a life of joy, a life of peace, a life of hope, and the abundant life that Jesus came to give. As Bishop Blake said, I see you in the future, and you look much better than you look right now. Watch what God will do in your life while he's turning your pain into purpose. God bless you, and I hope you will be blessed from this message. And I ask that you would like and share this video so this word can spread far and wide, where it can bless others, to encourage them for what they are going through, so they will know that they're not in it by themselves, that God is in it with them. And whatever they're going through, he's going to take it and use it for his will and his glory, and to bless their life and to bless others that see what God is doing in their lives. God bless you and have a good night.